First part of it is talk about corporate worship inside of a building like we do today. Although we don't worship in a physical temple, there is an important principle for the people of God from any time period to put into practice. And the principle is this: everywhere where we are is where God is. Like the song Lynn led earlier, this is holy ground. Wherever I'm standing is holy ground. And so the idea that the building is holy and more holy, and how life goes on 160 plus hours during the week is irrelevant. This is just a building. The church building is a building. It's bricks and mortar and windows, electricity, lights, etc. And even if somebody puts statues and candles and gold chalices and they're clanging burned incense and the whole inside of the building is smelling like that, it's still just a building. Still just a building. Acts 17:24, Paul says, the God who made the world and all things in it, since he is Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in temples made with hands. He says in chapter 7, Stephen says, heaven is my throne and earth is the footstool for my feet. What kind of a house will you build for me, says the Lord? How could you possibly build a physical building that would be sufficient to house God? Acts chapter 11, verse 22, Luke writes, the news of the church the news reached the ears of the church in Jerusalem. So either the church building had ears, or the church is us. The church is us. The early church didn't have buildings. They started out in the temple until they got kicked out of there. Then they were in synagogues over the years, even riverbanks. But the main place that became the place of worship for the early Christians was houses, house churches. That's how the early church grew. It was in the homes of different people. We read about it in Romans 16 and Colossians 4 and so on.